Hello folks and welcome to this, the 3rd year anniversary edition of Wrestling Showdown. Where has the time gone? Can you believe it was the 7th of December 2014 when we first unleashed the debut episode of Wrestling Showdown? And we have brought you an episode every single week, pretty much, since then, and we have no plans to stop just yet. Thank you for supporting us in this venture. We came up with Wrestling Showdown because we wanted to bring you W3L fans an opportunity to watch us in the comfort of your own home and to be able to follow what was happening as it pertained to championships and grudges and the like as we travelled up and down the country, because we understand you can't make it to every single live event, but if you can make it to any, you really should, because nothing beats seeing us live. We have some live events at the end of the month that I'll be telling you about a little later on. So thank you for supporting us here on Wrestling Showdown. If you're a subscriber, a regular viewer, a casual viewer, whatever, thank you, because we couldn't do it without you, and we appreciate your support and hope you'll stick with us as we roll into year number 4 here on Wrestling Showdown. We've got some big things coming up in the next year, I can tell you. Now, this is of course our anniversary episode. We've got 2 matches for you, and the first of these, if you want to talk about grudges, it's definitely that. Back in June of this year here on Showdown, Lucian Maynard Smith scored a pinfall victory over Musso. He then went on to interrupt other matches here on Showdown to gloat about that victory. The two of them met just 2 weeks ago on the House of Smith, and well, things weren't settled. In fact, Lucian Maynard Smith ended up leaving Musso lying unconscious in the middle of the ring. So, it has been decided that these two men are going to settle their grudge this week on the 3rd anniversary edition of Wrestling Showdown. And it's not just going to be any old contest, this is going to be a street fight match. So strap yourselves down. Musso takes on Lucian Maynard Smith in a street fight match right here on Wrestling Showdown.
Ladies and gentlemen, this is Joe Fordyce. We've got a street fight match and it's off and running. No waiting around for official introductions here. Lucian Maynard Smith and Musso hammering each other with these forearms. And you can understand why. If you saw the House of Smith, they'd agreed to what apparently was going to be a straightforward singles rematch, but Smith jumped Musso from behind, beat him down, left him lying, and Musso wanted this street fight, and that's exactly what we have got. The ring's littered with weapons already, and we're barely like 30 seconds into this thing, and Smith wisely rolls to the floor to get out of harm's way. And of course in this match there's no count outs, there's no disqualification. Musso going right after him, and this is liable to go all around the building, ladies and gentlemen. You know the situation between these two. I mean, they've fought as Lucian Maynard Smith just gets binned, well, bread binned anyway, and again face first into it. This is perfectly legal. Referee Thomas Kearns can only really stand and watch. He can't warn them because there's no disqualifications. Hang on, they go right in the building. And right in that table. And Smith, this isn't normally his forte, these hardcore style matches. He's not had as many of them as Musso has, but you can see he's come dressed for the occasion. He's in jeans, he's taped up, he's come to fight, and he wants his winning streak against Musso to remain intact. As I'm sure you saw it here on Showdown, he defeated Musso in that singles match, albeit with some help from the very good Mr. Ewan Mackey, which Smith has neglected to mention. And he's harped on about ever since as Musso trying that flying clothesline back. Smith caught him in the mid-6 he came down. Smith's interrupted numerous matches here in Showdown to gloat about his victory over Musso, and that was the rematch Mike wanted. But of course, as I said, Smith jumped him from behind, left him lying in the middle of the ring. Now Smith gets bounced in the wall. Thankfully there's a crash mat there, and he takes a bin to the skull, and that's a thick plastic bin. It's going to have him seeing stars, not just the ones on Musso's tights. And Musso, he can get hardcore with the best of him. Smith, not as experienced in these matches. As I said, he's getting indoctrinated, however. He's trying to escape out the entrance, racing up these steps, and you can see the fans are loving this. Let's hope they keep out the way of the crossfire. Musso is fired up, he's angry. Thought I got a sporting match with Lucian Maynard Smith proving the better wrestler, and instead he gets attacked. Smith used the House of Smith set to beat up Mike Musso, and they disappeared out the door. They could be going out in the street. No, here comes Smith again. And this isn't a falls count anywhere match, I should point out, so you do have to get your victory inside the ring. But of course there's no count out here, and now Smith's got something from the souvenir stand. It was a foam head.
There we go. Hold on, I find something that looks fun.
He's just taking right around the building and another mat again. Oh no, wait, he set him up. And a rushing leg sweep in the wall. I think Smith's lower back hit the metal radiator. Hope that's not on. Because I mean, you know, nobody wants a red hot radiator in the small of their back. And Musso's set up that it's filled with mats. It's like some sort of like trolley thing for transporting these mats around, and he's dumped Smith on top of it. And Musso just lawn darts Smith right against the wall. Not quite sure how much damage Smith took from that, but it's certainly enough to rattle him. And Smith does not look happy with this. Perhaps agreeing a street fight wasn't his best move. I mean, the last time we saw him actually wrestling here, hang on, goes to the eyes. And he's gouged them again, there's nothing you can do about it. I was about to say, the last time we saw Smith actually wrestling on Showdown was back in September. He was in tag team action, he and Johnny Lyons against Jason Wood and Kevin Williams. There were some cheers used in that match. I thought it didn't work out so well for Smith and Lyons then. And Musso got out the way. Smith continued after him, but allowed Musso the chance to hit with the gun. Just rammed Smith face first in the ring apron, or rather in the chair in the ring apron. Again, Smith not the expert in these matches, and that may be the deciding factor here. Musso has competed in falls count matches, last man standing matches, you name it, he's done it. When we saw it Resolution 11, he was in a dog collar match. Hang on, Smith moved and gets him with that chair. He knew what was coming with that knee lift, and right across the back with his steel chair. And again. Now 3 weeks ago, Musso was in a street fight match on Showdown. He took on Tim Wiley, was one of the cohorts of the very good Mr. Yuan Chimaki. Wiley slammed him through a table to get the victory over him, and I do wonder what state Musso's back is in. We know he's had these issues in the past when he's gone through tables before. He's kept up a full schedule, of course, and I mean, his match with Maki certainly wasn't an easy ride by any means. A dog collar match at Resolution, so you've got to think maybe Musso's not 100% already. Is Smith using that shirt? Credit where it's due, he's come ready to fight. As I said, he's in jeans, he's got his boots on, he's bought that shirt which he can use as a weapon. Musso's come in wrestling attire. I don't know if this is because he wants to prove that he can be a better wrestler than a fighter, or if it's just that he didn't have anything else to wear. I honestly don't know. But Musso's in his ring gear, and Lucian Maynard Smith is in his street fight attire. I think he's raking his fingernails right down Musso's back. Smith loved the fact that he defeated Mike Musso in this very building as well, and if he defeats him twice, I mean, in the House of Smith, he claimed hang on, wait, he goes for the first cover of the match. Musso's not quite done yet. Smith gained dare we say, a Pyrrhic victory in the House of Smith, because he got that phantom pinfall, claimed it as a second victory over Musso. Of course, it wasn't a proper match by any means, so it doesn't really count. But this is all been part of Smith's attitude change, become a lot more serious. He's got a slightly darker outlook. Sets him up and drops him down with that reverse neckbreaker. Musso kicking out. You see Smith has slowed the match down. They went at it hard and heavy in the opening moments, and then Musso kind of got the better of it. They went right round the building. Smith really struggled, but since he's got control, he's slowed the match to his pace, tried to keep Musso down, tried to employ a strategy to be working over the neck. The reverse neck breaker now with this chill, because he's got a knee right between the shoulders. Musso with the crowd on the side trying to get back to his feet. And he picks him up and just drops down Lucian Maynard Smith. But you can see the way Musso reacted. That wasn't easy for him by any means, and he lands a splash. Now his first pinfall attempt of the match. Just nets him a 2 count as well. Over the past year, really, Musso's been engaged in a heated situation with the very good Mr. UNG Mackey. I'm not entirely sure their situation's over. I don't think it can ever be fully over, but you never know. Certainly resolution went some way towards ending things. Musso just biding his time, and he hits an ace crusher. Smith tried his best to block it, and he's fallen near the ropes, and Musso's had to spend time dragging him out for the corner, and that was enough to allow Smith to kick out. That was really good ring positioning. He rolled to the ropes, because technically rope breaks would be in effect in this match, albeit you can't be disqualified for it. So Musso had to expend a little energy in a few more seconds, having to drag Smith away from the ropes so he couldn't use them, and that allowed Smith to recover enough to kick out. Smith, a very cerebral wrestler, knows what he's doing. Musso has said in the top turnbuckle, and Smith just runs Thomas Kearns in the ropes, and you see that as the effect of knocking Musso off the top turnbuckle. You can't be disqualified for it. And that wet floor sign, that puts Musso back down. And Smith and Musso fought countless times here at W3L. Singles, tags, many flag matches as well. Oh, hang on, Smith. I think he was trying to knock Musso off the apron with that head of steam, but it did not happen. Musso a sunset flip. This could be it, he's rolled him up. But Smith with enough to roll out. So that big forearm smash drops down Mike Musso. He's going for the back leg again, and he does. It's more adding insult than injury, it has to be said, in that kind of manoeuvre. But you see again, Smith just biding his time, has the match going at his pace. And he's got the chair. He's cracked that across Musso's back already. What will he go for now? He's laying it on the canvas. Or he's got him set for a side slam on the chair. And if Musso's back wasn't hurt before, it really is now. Surely he's never going to kick out of this. Oh, but somehow he does. Just gets a shoulder off the canvas and no more. Setting up a fist drop, it looks like. And right between the eyes. He did that last week in the House of Smith, but he wrapped his belt round his fist when he did it. And look, he puts his hand over Musso's forehead, trying to hold his head down. Because when you kick out, try and get your shoulder up, your head kind of comes with the canvas anyway. So it's an attempt to keep him down further. Smith is learning the finer points of street fighting here. Perhaps W3L institute a street fight championship. You never know. Smith has got his belt around his fist, it looks like. Now we saw this last week in the House of Smith. Oh, and he drops it right on the chair, sacrificing himself to further injure Mike Musso. He could be concussed, but he still kicks out of that. And Smith, with a cry of frustration, he fist dropped the chair, thus jamming it into Musso's head. His hand's bound to be stinging. That belt can't have offered him much protection. And Smith walking away past the camera. Now he can't be counted out. I assume if he doesn't come back in a reasonable amount of time, Thomas Kearns will just throw the match out and rule Musso the winner, I would assume. This is giving Musso precious to. Oh, wait a second. He's got the table. Now that's the table that they use if you come to a live event for the backstage passes. That's the table that they would have used. And now Smith has brought it in and lashing Musso across the back with that belt. There's a thick leather belt. And Lucian Maynard Smith is setting the table, but it's not for dinner. He's certainly not going to be sharing a glass of sherry and maybe a cigar with Mike Musso over the table here. One of these men, Musso it looks like, is going to go right through that table, I would assume. And Musso collapsing that table, something holding him up. Smith on the turnbuckles, hang on, took a bit too long. Musso's grabbed him. And right through the table, that's what happened to him and Tim Wiley. Tim slammed down through the table. And Mike Musso gets the victory. He pins Lucian Maynard Smith. So Mike Musso evens the odds. Smith beat him, but he defeats Lucian Maynard Smith here in a street fight match this week on Wrestling Showdown.
Mike Musso gains his revenge in that street fight match here on our 3rd anniversary edition of Wrestling Showdown. Now, back at Resolution 11, you will have seen that the Tag Team Championship changed hands. Prince Assad and Saki Bali were defeated by the team of Jody Fleisch and Jonny Storm, two true legends of the British wrestling scene, and it was a hell of a contest, no shame for Assad and Ali to lose the title to two such experienced and talented men. The same, however, cannot be said for the Contingency Plan. They had quite a bad night at Resolution. As you may remember, James Scott lost the heavyweight championship to Blondie Barrett in that triple threat match that also included Nathan Reynolds. And so the Contingency Plan, in light of their victory over TJ Rage and Krieger just last week, have got their sights set on becoming tag team champions yet again. But Fleisch and Storm are no easy task to defeat. Can the Contingency Plan, one of the most consistent tag teams here in W3L, overcome the challenge of two of the founding fathers of the modern British wrestling scene? There's only one way to find out. Let's hit ringside for our second match here on the anniversary edition of Wrestling Showdown.
This is a contest for the W3L Tag Team Championship. These challenges from the North Sydney, they are simply known as the Contingency Plan.
Ladies and gentlemen, this is Joe Fordyce here with you on the second of our matches here on the anniversary edition of Wrestling Showdown. And we've got what must surely be a dream tag team match. The current champions are Jody Fleisch and Jonny Storm, two men who bring huge international reputations with them to W3L. Of course, they answered the open challenge of Prince Assad and Saqib Ali at Resolution 11, and they won the titles. And the stuff they've done in the history of British wrestling, I've said before, they're two of the founding fathers of the modern British wrestling scene, and so they bring their big reputation, but they're taking on one of the most decorated and one of the most dominant tag teams in all of W3L, that being the Contingency Plan. Taylor Bryden in the ring and Dickie Divers on the ring apron. Bryden's a 4-time tag team champion. Divers is a 3-time tag team champion. Because all of Bryden's tag days apart from one have come as part of the plan. And we've seen that they'll do anything to get those titles, including golden ticket cash-ins. And when we saw Bryden the last time they held the belts, he cashed in on a weakened Kevin Williams, and Jason Reid as he attacks Jody Fleisch from behind, taking advantage of some weakened men to get the tag belts for he and his Contingency Plan cohorts. Now that's not going to happen in this match because there's no golden tickets here. It's a straight 2-on-2 tag team match as Fleisch avoids the boot and just kicks Taylor Bryden in the skull. Jody Fleisch hasn't lost a step, and he and Jonny Storm, like fine wines, have only improved with age. And there's a switch on both sides as Divers and Storm. Oh, hang on. Divers covering up. Oh, and he gets slapped in the face. Neither of these four men have ever wrestled each other in any combination, so this is a first time meeting between these two teams. And again, this is a dream match as Jonny Storm with a drop kick just nets him a 2 count. He and Jody Fleisch, of course, are part of the FWA way back, like the turn of the century. It sounds such a strange way to describe the early 2000s, but it's true. As Fleisch, beautiful spinning leg lariat, Divers is down for the count. I think they'll retain the belts, but not quite yet. And these two men, Fleisch and Storm, built their reputations by being two of the preeminent high flyers in the UK. They took their stuff over to Japan, to the United States, as Fleisch got turned inside out by that clothesline, but isn't quite put away yet. Only a big success overseas. Jody Fleisch due to head back to the United States very soon. I think may have been there by the time you see this match. And they still wrestle all over the world. I see Bryden just throttling Jody Fleisch. Jonny Storm complaining, but knows better than to climb in the ring, because that would just distract the referee. Divers taking the advantage, going for the cover after that snapmare. And now look at it, just choking Jody Fleisch with his foot. Thomas Kearns, I think, would have realised what was going on. But certainly the Plan have a familiarity with the W3L ring, the W3L venues. This is their home territory, if you like. Fleisch and Storm definitely have the advantage as a team. I mean, they've wrestled each other countless times, they've teamed up countless times. They know each other so well. And they do generally play by the rules, which the Contingency Plan are happy to break wherever necessary. As we've already seen, Taylor Bryden jamming that knee at the back of Jody Fleisch. And you see they've trapped him in their part of the ring. He's not been able to get across and make the tag to Jonny Storm, which I think he desperately needs to do as well. Divers have another cover again, and straight back for it. They definitely want the tag belts. Of course, in the weeks leading up to Resolution, things not necessarily going too well. I mean, we saw the Contingency Plan drop the Tag Team Championship to Big Dave Jeremy and Liam Thompson. They in turn dropped it to Prince Assad and Sakiba Lee. James Scott, though, at Resolution had to overcome Nathan Reynolds and Blondie Barrett in that triple threat match, and he was unable to do so. It took Barrett in a steel chair to become the new heavyweight champion. So the Contingency Plan now have no titles, which certainly for their egos is no good, as Fleisch rolls out the way. But certainly as it pertains to the fact that champions get a lot more money for their matches, and they each have a little more say, a little more control and stroke in the company, that's what they definitely want championships back around their waists. Divers has got hold of him. And Fleisch got out of the way. Divers took too long. Jody Fleisch can fly like nobody's business. And a beautiful body press. And he is right by his corner. I mean, he's known as the Phoenix, and it's understandable how he managed to resurrect himself, considering he was virtually ready to get pinned, it seemed, at many points. And he makes the tag. And Taylor Bryden comes in, and Jonny Storm wipes them both out. And you thought the Wonder Kid was just a silly nickname he'd given himself. The things he does truly are wondrous, flattening both Contingency Plan members, and he's taking them on handicap style. Fleisch back in. Look at them on opposite corners. I think it's about to start raining knuckles for the Contingency Plan, and that's exactly what it is. Bryden and Divers will be seeing stars. not championship belts possibly, but certainly stars. There's a reversal. Oh, and Fleisch ducked out the way. He had an idea of what might be coming. That's where the experience advantage comes in. Referee Thomas Kerr trying to get some sort of control. I believe it is actually Storm and Bryden at the legal men as well. Oh, Bryden's caught him at the corner and drops him down with the face buster. Now that's going to end it. Surely Jonny Storm won't get out of this, but he does. Bryden looking slightly frustrated, understandably so. Fleisch back in. Big spinning punch. He's really thrown everything behind them, isn't he? Getting some extra momentum, but more torque. Lovely backflip by Jody Fleisch. Bryden on the ropes and gets caught with the Hurricane Rana. What amazing agility from Jody Fleisch as he covers Taylor Bryden, who barely got out. Now that's a surprise. But does Fleisch know the diver's behind him? He does now. Oh, and drops him down. Northern Lights powerbomb. And a super kick. And all four men are down. Understandably so, considering what they've all gone through. Hang on, Fleisch drapes an arm, rolls across onto Dickie Divers. But Divers still kicking out. This goes to show you just how badly the Contingency Plan want to get those tag team championships back. And again, you can't blame them. I mean, everybody wants to be the tag team champion. They've been one of the... Oh, hang on, double head toss. I'll finish my thought in a moment. It was a double elbow drop. The tag titles win the Divers to cover again. The tag championship division has been red hot. I mean, the titles have been bouncing from one team to the other over the past few months. And they'd love it, Divers and Bryden, and Scott as well, if they could end up around their waist. Bryden's grabbed a chair. This will be a DQ if he smashes Jody Fleisch with it. And it looks like he's got it. But Jonny Storm makes the save for his partner and throws Bryden at the floor. Oh, but Divers goes to the eyes. Fleisch at the back, however. And Dickie Divers. He's primed for getting beaten here, surely. I mean, he just got launched in the orbit. And speaking of orbit, and what a double team move. Jonny Storm German suplexes Jody Fleisch in that splash. But Bryden made the save, otherwise the belts would be staying around the waist of the Wonder Kid and the Phoenix. And there's Bryden flung out the ring again. Got the whole building shook there. The planner on the floor. Jonny Storm setting up, doesn't want to let the momentum go. And he dives across the Pescado, but Divers got out of the way. And now he's got that chair. Referee Thomas Kearns looking the wrong way. And Jody Fleisch gets smashed in the back. Divers rolls him up. Thomas Kearns realises, comes in for the cover and counts to 3. Well, I've got to say, that was a horrible end to an otherwise awesome contest. A dream tag team match it certainly was. It was so good. I'm not really surprised the Contingency Plan would go to the extent of having to use a chair and having to cheat to win. It's a pity they couldn't go for it cleanly, but they did what they needed to do. They became the tag team champions for now the 4th time of asking. Wait a minute, who's that at the side? Is that Kevin Williams? Jason Reed. Jason Reed won the golden ticket at Resolution 11 and at a tremendous ladder match. Is he going to cash in? He's entering the ring with Kevin Williams in the golden ticket. And it is. He's cashing in the golden ticket and the Contingency Plan. This is how Bryden won the belts the last time out. He cashed in when Reed and Williams been laid out by chairs. So now they're trying to do the same thing, going after Jason Reed's bad knee. Of course, he injured that during our live edition of Wrestling Showdown. I'm sure you've seen it on the W3L Facebook page. So the Contingency Plan have realised that suddenly they've got an impromptu tag match and they're going to do everything they can to injure Jason Reed and retain those belts. But look at him firing back with those forearms. And he slams Bryden, but what did that take out of his knee? Quite a lot, but it looks things one well-placed kick by Dickie Divers has dropped him down. Williams is on the floor after Divers smashed him in the head with a chair. Don't know what factor he's going to be in this match. Oh, and a half crab on the bad leg. Divers wrenching away. Jason Reed needs to get to the ropes, or better yet, get Kevin Williams in to make the save for him. But I don't know if Williams is even conscious. He's at the far side of the ring and we can't see him. Reed crawling for all he's worth, but Divers drags him back. And Jason Reed's knee may be the deciding factor in this. As Bryden gets bounced off the post, Williams back up. And he bulldogs Divers. Divers didn't see him coming. And I think we were seconds away. Hold on, it's the Calvin recliner. Dickie Divers goes down. Jason Reed goes in for the cover. And we have new tag team champions.
So congratulations to Jason Reed and Kevin Williams, who used the golden ticket in exactly the manner it was intended to become the new tag team champions. And as you saw, of course, Jason Reed still with that knee injury that he suffered during our historic live broadcast of Wrestling Showdown, but he wasn't going to let that hamper him. He and Williams finally have got the tag team title, proving that all their hard work has paid off. Now, no doubt the Contingency Plan will want a rematch for the tag title. Fleisch and Storm will do a rematch as well, but the first team that will be getting a rematch are former champions Prince Assad and Saqib Ali, and that happens on December the 27th in Kinghorn. That's right, it's the first defence of the tag titles for Reed Williams against former champions Assad and Ali on the 27th. And remember, we have got an event the next day on the 28th. We're in Broxburn with our pals over at SSW, and I can tell you that the SSW Diamonds champion Angel Hayes will be in action. Who will she be facing? You will find that out in the weeks to come, along with all the information about our two live events happening on the 27th and 28th of December. For full details on those events and to get your tickets, head to our website. Go to W3LWrestling.com. Make sure that you give us a like on Facebook, follow us on Twitter, subscribe to this channel, of course use the hashtag W3L Wrestling Showdown, and stay tuned to our social media channels. Stay tuned to Wrestling Showdown. I'll be telling you more about our upcoming two live events on the 27th and 28th in the weeks to come, as well as bringing you more fantastic action here on Showdown, because next week is the start of our 4th year of Showdown. Who will be on it? What are we going to see in the future? You'll find out in 7 days' time here on Wrestling Showdown.